the new series I'm going to be doing um, for the next week or two. Um, it's all about Chiron. So this live is going to just talk about his backstory and kind of preface, um, yeah, the mythology and just how he works in astrology. So if you don't know about Chiron, it's actually a comet that orbits in between Saturn and Uranus, or Saturn and Neptune. I'm sorry, and it kind of is a bridge between the inner planets and the outer planets. Now, the astrology, I mean the mythology, is he was a centaur, but unlike any other centaur in Greek mythology, his father was Kronos, Saturn. His mother was Philyra, and it said in another interpretation, his mother was Nace or Nice. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but they were water nymphs. And when he was born, you know, actually, let me back up. Cronus actually changed himself into a horse, which is where the centaur part comes from, and then had him with the water nymph. And so when she had him, she was like disgusted and basically disowned him. But he's like another. He's not like any other centaur. He was known as the wisest and the justest of all the centaurs because he is more civilized. And I guess in some interpretations, like his front legs are actually human as well, and then the rest of him's horse. So he just is more civilized, more intelligent, not quick to, anger and be violent like the other centaurs. And he was also raised by Apollo and Artemis. And so under them, he learned about astrology and hunting, archery, and so yeah, he went on to be a great teacher. He taught like Hercules and Achilles, lots of others. And fast forward to farther into the mythology, being basically, a god, he was immortal. And in this battle, Hercules accidentally shot him. And under normal circumstances, it'd be a mortal wound. Since he's a god, it was like a poison arrow. Since he's a god, though, he's immortal, and so he was essentially having to endure this eternal pain from the poison, which is where that's like the astrological interpretation. That's where it comes in that he's all about healing, because he also functioned as a healer as well, just in general. But so then he decided he would make a deal with Zeus, Jupiter, that if he would trade he could trade his immortality to free Prometheus, I believe, and that then Zeus would make him basically like a constellation, and it would free him from this mortal wound and this eternal pain. And that's what happened, and he became a part of this constellation. It's escaping me which constellation it was, but anyways, that's a mythology. So yeah, Chiron is all it's he's the like the shaman, the healer, um, kind of like a wizard, very like sage archetype. So wherever our Chiron is, it's like a pain and a wound we've carried through many lifetimes, and it's also pain. It represents pain on all the levels: physical, emotional, mental, spiritual. So it's felt like on all levels. and depending on the sign, that's gonna get more about specific, and it's gonna tell you more about what the pain is. But together with Chiron together with Pluto and Lilith, I call those kind of like the triple threat, and it's like our but in a good way. It's our hidden secret abilities or secret powers, secret strengths, and they all are kind of like cousins because they all represent like pain and the darker emotions. Lilith is shame. Pluto's like control, like somebody trying to take your power away from you, and Chiron is the steep wounding. So there's kind of like this natural overlay between them. And if we can integrate these shadow parts of ourselves, they become our superpowers, and we can go on and help people with their shadow, and especially people that have the similar Chiron wound. So he's also, well, all three of those bodies I just mentioned are also the rulers of Ophiuchus. And although um, I don't really think that there's like a main ruler, and co-rulers. I think they're all like equal co-rulers, but kind of to help you understand Ophiuchus and how Ophiuchus works, Chiron is sort of like the leader, so to speak, but not really like that he's, more important or any better than Lilith or Pluto, but just within the context of Ophiuchus, like he kind of represents the framework of, and this is just one, aspect of his nature, but he represents kind of like the framework of the transformation process, kind of like the bigger picture. Um, Lilith is kind of like the interpretation of that process, kind of like our body lets us know what it needs, and we can receive information through our body on how to um, proceed with the transformation process, because she's kind of like a counterpart to Mercury in that sense, that she's like communication without spoken words, so like body language, but also just all the communication that happens between um, the universe and ourselves, like but with felt within the body. And then Pluto's kind of the inner workings and the details of this process, like how it all comes together, and the like not the overall process, but the inner workings of the transformational process, because Pluto is a higher octave of Mercury, and Mercury rules inner workings of physiology of the body, but also kind of like you can think of it with like a machine, a vehicle. That's Mercury. How all those different parts are working together for the machine to operate, or a human body. So Pluto is like that on that next level, and we're talking about the alchemical process, transformation process. So with that said, I think that gives you a pretty good preface on Chiron and what he represents. Um, Also, I'm going to be pulling a card with each, like as I'm going through the signs, I'm going to pull a card from the Mystical Shaman Oracle deck, because this is just so pertinent and resonates so much with Chiron, because he rules, like shamans, and probably, witch doctors would be under that as well, and like druids and a lot of magical people and positions. Um, he does rule, he does rule like surgeons and like traditional doctors as well, because he represents healing on all the different levels. But I tend to gravitate towards more of that shaman kind of archetype. That's really what he embodies to me. But yeah, so I think that's all I want to say about Chiron, and I'm really excited for the series because it's going to be very powerful, and I hope that it really helps people embrace their Chiron and be able to heal it. Um, the other key thing is that healing is not a linear process. And I've even heard other people suggest that you can never truly heal your Chiron wound. You can just learn to work with it. And I think as of right now, I would probably agree with that. But you can get to a point where it doesn't destroy you, like, and it doesn't prevent you from you know serving your purpose or however your Chiron is configured in your chart. So yeah, like I said, it becomes like your superpower. And so yeah, that's what I'm looking forward to. Hopefully, helping people like transmute this energy and use it to their benefit, and to be able to also help others and just kind of share that transformational energy and that light, and just help uplift consciousness, because that's definitely a big thing with Chiron and Ophiuchus energy, and just accessing other levels of consciousness. So yeah, all right. I will see you guys in the next video, the next live. Um, I would definitely appreciate anybody that wants to like this, share, and subscribe, because it definitely helps out my channel. So I will see you guys next time.